All right. Okay. Welcome. It's July. We've hit the peak of the summer, I think. I think we all got lulled into a false sense of security with all the rain, but we are definitely feeling it now. Um, so it's been a big month for Stampin' Up! With the hot foil machine coming out. And now we've got the demonstrator pre order for both the online exclusives and the SD catalog, September to December catalog. Um, and so that will open tomorrow for pre order. And then we'll have some new kits that come at the beginning of August. One of them is the Witch's Hat kit, and we got a preview of that last week on Candy's meeting. Candy had Elizabeth Belleville come, and she came to the Southern Sweet Stampers meeting. If you have not had a chance to look at that, go to the end of Elizabeth's presentation and check out the very adorable, actually wearable Witch's Hat kit that is coming out next month. I think it will be a hot seller, and I think that everybody will be very excited about it. So I think that one will go fast. The hot foil system is really fun. We got a chance to play with it this weekend, and hey Don, and it was good. It was good to play with it. A couple of people there had the Spellbinders system from before. And so that was good because we were able to kind of talk about comparisons and like what's improved and what this has. And also the fact that the stuff does transfer over. Like if they have Spellbinders foil dies, they will work on our machine. If they have other hot foils, they will work on our machine. So that's nice because if they have already invested in a system, great. The system will not work with the Big Shot, the old black Big Shot, period. It is too wide. So you just wouldn't tell them about your usage of non-Stampin' Up! Things, Kathleen. I don't think that you're going to mess it up by doing that. Now, trying to put it through the Big Shot, yeah, that would definitely mess it up. The platform is just a little wider than the old black Big Shot, and that's why they can't do it. So it really is made for the Stampin' Cut emboss machine. So the Swiss dot, so I'll tell you what held me back from ordering the Swiss dot, and then I'll tell you what I saw today. So I think one of the best things right now that's happening is that when anybody, customer or demonstrator, purchases the hot foil system, they get free access to the Metallic Magic class, which is happening on Thursday. But it's recorded and it'll be available. They said they're going to keep their craft classes for at least a year, but so far, I mean, they've just been letting them roll. And everybody who purchases the system will gain access to the course for free through December. So even if people are like saving for it and they're going to buy it at Christmas or for Christmas, they'll get access to it for free as long as they bought it by December 31st. So the class is going to be, recorded. They're going to do different projects. They've got a class supply list of things to order. But for me right now, the best part of it is the chit chat because people are posting videos and photos of like them experimenting. So they're trying to know. But I think I have a feeling I know what went wrong. But they're trying to try all sorts of different things, right? So people are trying to hot foil on canvas and on vellum and on clear window sheet. All of that's going very well, by the way. People are, they're just trying ribbon. They're hot foiling on ribbon. I mean, like they're doing all the things. It's wild, yeah. But you're also seeing like people who are having struggles, or like I had some things didn't come out quite right, and they're like, okay, well, this is because of this, and this is because of this, or try this, or do this. So you see a lot of troubleshooting too, which I like. there has been discussion about, man, we wish we had made like two classes, like one for customers and one for demos, because when customers get in there, they're going to see all this. People aren't necessarily saying bad things. They're just like, there's some struggle, but some of it's operator error. Some of it's we just don't know how to use it. Um, so I'm hoping that when they do the class on Thursday, they're monitoring the class, so they're going to address some of this stuff. For instance, like cutting the foil closer to the size of the die you have is smart, because if not, you're going to pick up the grid lines from the plate itself on your paper. It like is literally, the whole thing is so hot. And I guess that's one of the improvements that they made, was that the entire plate underneath that rubber is like, there's a giant plate instead of there being coils. I guess on the old spellbinders there was coils. So they so this system's definitely improved over the old one. So if they have an old spellbinders, the three improvements are: there's a large metal plate that heats up instead of the coils. The power cord is magnetic, so it just like pops on and pops off. It's like really easy to disconnect, so that you can move your system to the big shot and do the thing. And the other big advantage is that this thing moves as a whole unit to the big shot and just rolls through, where the old one you had to like lift and pick up off the heating element, and then you had to like carry it over. There's a lot more movement, and like it was a little more, just wasn't as smooth of a process. But what convinced me was, in this Facebook group, someone said, I got 12 sheets out of the Swiss dot. And I was like, tell me more. So what they did is they ran it through with the Swiss dot and the foil, and then they moved it slightly, and they did it again, and then they moved it slightly again, and they did it again, and they moved it, and they moved it, and they moved it. So every time they did it, they just moved it a little bit, and out of one sheet of foil, they were able to get 12 card fronts. And I was like, all right, well, that is impressive, because I was concerned that the Swiss dot had a lot of waste in it. Definitely there's tips in there about how to, and I'm probably going to do a video about how to use the negative of the pieces, so that you get at least two uses out of everything, both the positive and the negative, which works really well for the florals. It actually worked really well for the large lettering, like the get well and those kind of large sentiments. So I think that there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think the group is helpful. In the files in the group, there's a printout. It's really one of the only files in the group. One demo made a printout of like order of operations, basically, in very large font, which is lovely for those of us who might or might not need reading glasses but don't want to wear them. And so that was a really helpful PDF in terms of like, oh, okay, I know what to do when to plug this in, when to do this, the order of the shims, stuff like that. The machine itself comes with directions, but they're, tiny and, IKEA-like, and they have images, and I don't need images. I just need like foiled side down, paper, shim, whatever. So I thought that was really helpful. So that was one of the things I did at retreat. I had not had a chance to play with it before then. And I think sometimes you kind of have to like get away in order to like, play with a new toy that you have. And my friend Tamara, who does our team custom bone folders, she's actually coming up with, she's already come up with a storage piece for the desktop. So people are storing theirs in different ways, right? And this is one of the things, like we get a new toy and we have to figure out how to store it, right? Like this is like one of the challenges. So some people are storing it flat in like a zipper case, like those big zipper cases that you use for markers, that you can get at like H-E-B or Walmart right now, that are like kind of plastic. Some people want to store it upright on their desk, and so she has a unit that she's made that stores the like plates and everything, and the foil even, and the cord. So I've ordered that from her, and when I get it in, I'll put everything in it and I'll take photos and let you guys know. She's making them, probably with her, whatever what's that thing called? 3D printer. She's 3D printing them. So But she's excited about it. And I do want something that I can just put on my countertop. I'm not necessarily sure I want to like tuck it in a drawer and have to pull it out, in and out, in and out. So, questions about hot foil so far? Any thoughts? Okay. I'll do a video probably later this week. I think that might be my weekly video. I was looking to see. I wasn't, I didn't have anything else planned. So I think that'll be my weekly video this week will be the hot foil system for my customers. And when I do it, I'll post it on our page too. And you guys can watch it and kind of see what you think. And I'll kind of walk through, how to do a few of them and see what everybody thinks. And then at retreat, some of us were checking out the new catalog, and so I'm sure everybody's excited. I hope you also saw the new online exclusives. I wanted to show you where to find them because sometimes, and especially for those of you who are maybe watching the recording, sometimes both of those things are not easy to find. And so they're on the same page, which I find if I can get to that page, then I'm in a better place. So I'm going to go in the know and product releases. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Share. Here we go. All right, so if you go to In the Know, which has almost everything now, it has product of the month, it has all the marketing toolkit, it has the inventory status report. So this is a pretty important tab at this point. Like they've really put a lot of meaty stuff in here. But if you go to product releases, then you scroll down and it's easy to see the new catalog because it's pretty and we've never seen it before, right? So it's right here. Easy peasy download. And all the catalog images are here too. So these are the images that I use when I create like graphics and stuff. So like when I make an event or I make a flyer or I make the heading, like if I want like a header image for my Facebook page, I do all of that here. But then you're like, okay, well, where are the online exclusives? And so then you see the marketing toolkit. And then right here with no images is the online exclusives. And here's the September one. So you can download that one and look at that. So those are just, that's the easiest place for me to find them. I know the catalog is on the front page, but the online exclusives are not. And so sometimes it's hard for everybody to find those. So then with, yes, Glenda, two-tone is the way for the hot foil machine. You can definitely use regular cardstock. You're just going to get a less smooth result. It's going to be a little bit more, what I would say, vintagey looking, like less solid. But vellum seems to be doing well. Window sheet seems to be doing well. And I'm shocked that neither one of those melted. People are doing DSP, they're, foiling on DSP. So they're doing it all. And the ribbon was definitely impressive. And so, I think, and you foil first and then you can do anything else you want after. Stamping, die cut, coloring, whatever. But foil first and then do everything else. So, okay, well, so then let's talk about the new catalog. So what is something that you are excited about in the new catalog or the online exclusives, either one? Anybody got something they're jazzed about?
I wrote it down on a piece of paper, but that's all packed away still.
I think that you really were you still liking the sunflowers? Was that the one that you were looking
Yes,
at? Yeah.
yes.
So the sunflowers are pretty. There's also, I wanted to make sure there's a couple things in the online exclusives that you might miss. So one is called Autumn Opulence, and it's a fall paper that doesn't go with any set And so those sometimes get lost, right? But it has a ephemera sheet with it. It has like blackberry bliss. It's got some really nice like plaids. So just keep an eye out for that. There's also two other sets, Thanks and Giving and Hitting the Slopes. And both of those are not combined with any other suite or anything else. And then so is Under My Wings. So there's a couple of sets in the online exclusives that are kind of what I would consider, rogue things, individual, independent things. And I don't want anybody to like not see those because of that. So, anything else appeal to anybody else?
The pumpkins that you showed, that one.
Yeah, the painted patch, that's really cute with the pinks and the teals and the
Hmm.
yeah, pool party. It's a cute color combo. So, and there's a little fence that goes with it, which is really cute.
I like the
Um,
little Christmas house cutouts that was in the catalog, and they kind of remind me of the Christmas postal paper cutout ephemera from last year.
hmm. I wonder what suite that was with. Maybe it was like, was it an independent set?
No, it when you called up your images, it was the one that was in the middle.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I
the
think there was a whole suite, but I'm not 100% sure.
okay, Welcome Noel, maybe? I wonder if that's the dies for Welcome Noel. So one of the reasons that I like a good online catalog is because I can type and I can search. It's Welcome Noel is the dies that have the little houses. Yeah, that is cute. I don't think I noticed it because the neutral Noel, that paper is very like gold and shiny. And I know Jill's super excited about it, but I don't think I noticed all those cute little die cut houses and like the little seams and stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm not big on a lot of neutral, but I think I like it because my career was housing, and I get excited about any kind of little house.
yeah. And I mean, that's a great audience for the products, right? Like, if you can sell to a realtor, like, hey, I can make you custom Christmas cards for all your customers, well, then you've just bought yourself the set, you know? So that's a great idea. So, anybody else have a favorite or a not favorite? Always love to hear when people are like, "Oh, that's hideous." The mice are really cute. I like
Yeah.
I like them and they're cute little paper. We used to call my grandmother Mimi Mouse, and the little embellishments, the Christmas epoxy shapes are cute. The big ribbon is really nice. There's that new big cherry cobbler ribbon that we've had before, cherry cobbler and white striped grouse green ribbon. It's a little different than the one we had before, but that one's great for wrapping packages and stuff. It's huge, not great for cards, but great for packaging. So, anybody else find anything fun or interesting in there? There's a couple of punch bundles. So there's a punch bundle that actually there's a bundle, and then there's another stamp set that goes with it. So the advent labels. There's a new box die called Box of Joy for those of you who like making boxes. And then Home for Christmas has a little like pocket die that's really cute. If you like to put like pockets on your cards or little gift card holders, it would make like a good gift card holder. So hopefully you saw Joyful Friends. That's the Aussie, the new Australian nod to Christmas with the quokka and the kangaroo and the koala. It's very, very cute. I thought that was a fun one. Um, Anything else? The leaves are pretty. There's a new leaf set, Elegant Leaves. And then the new nativity set, Rejoice. I always like to look in the back at the stamp sets that maybe aren't bundled or, aren't part of a suite, because sometimes there's some hidden fun ones back there. The cool pine cone, the frosted pine cone, has a mask with it. I wondered how they had done that, and it has a mask, and so it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a giant pine cone, but the mask definitely helps. So, and then there's the big bow die that is a impressions die, so you get a lot of like texture on the bow. So they're excited about that one, I know. And there's a new hybrid embossing folder with the snowflakes. So, and some cute new embellishments. I felt like we didn't get a lot of embellishments in the last catalog, but they gave us a good set this time. So I'm excited about that. And the new Advent treat boxes too. So. And then I really hope the new kit is actually a tissue box holder. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I think on page, they kind of sneaked the kits, a couple of them, on page 6. And there's like a little Christmas house. It's called the Merry Manor, but it has tissues coming out the top. I don't know if that's like just for decoration or if it's a functional tissue holder. But I would love a functional tissue holder, so. Advent labels. You also liked the Dreamy Snowflakes bundle. It was pretty. And Everlasting Thanks. Yeah, that pine cone is huge. Everlasting Thanks. Which one's that one? And that's why I like when I can search, because then I can look it up. Is that the one that has a really nice font? Because, I like a good font. Let's see. Yes, that guy. Super cute. I really hope that's a functional tissue holder. Well, so they actually, when Jill and I were at home office, they said that they made painted patch for like our generation. So like Kathleen, you, me, because with the fonts in mind too, which I thought was really interesting. And so apparently we care a lot about font, and they know that. And so, oh yeah, Everlasting Thanks has the 3 sets of flowers. Yeah, that has a lot of like flexibility. Like I could see doing a lot of things with that, because there's like one that's more like Christmassy and one that could be more like fall. So that's nice. I always like things that have multi-season ability. So always nice. So good. All right. Anything else that you guys? We have the sale right now for Paper Pumpkin going on. So if you haven't promoted that, definitely it's worth grabbing the marketing, the little marketing piece for that in the marketing toolkit, and trying to go ahead and promote that, because I think that anytime that we can, promote Paper Pumpkin, and so it's just the pay as you go. They get 25% off their first kit, and they need to be new subscribers. So all that means is that they need to use a new email address. Because that magically makes them new. So, and for those of us who have multiple email addresses, that is always a thing. So, but yeah, one of the things that I realized, because you only need a certain number of Paper Pumpkin subscribers to meet your minimums. And over the years, I had kind of like dropped down. And so I think I told a couple people like, okay, it's my goal to like get my Paper Pumpkin numbers back up. And I'm back up, baby. So I'm so excited. So I'm back at 10, which is great because, Rachel Tessman sold $1 million of Stampin' Up! basically through Paper Pumpkin. Like her first million was through Paper Pumpkin, which is crazy. And so you can totally meet your minimums with Paper Pumpkin. And yes, her first million. I know, Kathleen. Uh, Someone just passed like 4 million. And I think it's exponential. I mean, so that was one of the things that we were talking about, like Susan and I too, was we've seen this over and over again is that, it takes them 10, I don't know how many years to like hit this first threshold, but then it's like exponential, right? And so you just see it, it's like, me. And what's funny is Susan and I are experiencing the same thing because we hit our first 100,000. And I was like, Susan, how close are you to 200? And I was like, are we? Yes, Tammy White. And I said, are you as close to 200 as I am? And she was like, yeah, that went really fast. And I was like, yeah, it did. Because you just, I don't know, there's something that happens and the bell curve, like, or that curve just like goes up. So it's interesting to see that and see, these other guys sell so much. But yeah, Paper Pumpkin can definitely be a big part of this. So I think it's important, like, make sure you're posting photos of like your Paper Pumpkin cards and how easy the kit is, and a picture of you doing the kit somewhere random, if you're doing it with friends or you're doing it at a coffee shop or wherever. I know Sarah posted a photo of her doing it like at their little vacation house, and someone else I saw posted they were doing it on their plane ride because they were bored. So I mean, it is small, portable, easy to do, so that's a good thing. And the fall Paper Pumpkins are going to be epic. So, like, I mean, they're always great. Now's a good time to get some new folks there. And then see, make sure that you're acknowledging your customers. Thank you if you're sending a thank you card when people order, or if you're, sending them a little text and saying, hey, I hope you had fun with your Paper Pumpkin. I know I did, and shoot them a little photo. Part of that's because you want them to open their Paper Pumpkin and actually make it, and which then also forces you to open yours and make yours, which is also good. And that's one reason why I brought back the add-on projects for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So it forces me to open the box, it forces me to make the projects, but then it also, when I send them an add-on project, they're like, oh, I need to go open my Paper Pumpkin. Let me go pop that open and go do that, right? And they know that I appreciate them because I've sent them something. It's not complicated. Usually it's, a card base and a little piece of DSP and something. They're not overly, it's not expensive to do that. And in the grand scheme of things, I think a little goes a long way. So, anything else that you guys are thinking about? Anything else that's going on this month? I know Candy's got the kid challenge, the kid cards. So if you haven't entered that, if you have any cards that might be child friendly, make sure that you post there. She's also still doing the Saturdays, like whatever you're working on Saturdays. So if you're working on something else, it can be non-Stampin' Up! Knitting or gardening. I don't know. Like, I honestly think she'll take anything on the Saturday for that. She's very open to quilting. I don't know, whatever other things you do. And even if you're working with non-Stampin' Up! Materials, I think that would be fine to do on Saturdays too. So if you've got some non-Stampin' Up! Stuff that you're trying to burn through or use, I think that's a good day to do it. Does anybody else remember what's her? The $300 in sales. That's her challenge right now. So for every $300 you have in sales, she wants you to post on this one thread. And so yeah, the kids challenge, which is hashtag, let's see what the hashtag is, Stampin' Kids 26. And then the summer business challenge is all of July and all of August. When you hit 300, for every 300, you get a spot in a drawing for a new product in September. So you can put your name in for that. So, and then they did under her updates, they've linked, she's linked the brand new Facebook group for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. I don't know if their plan is to like close down the demonstrator planning place. I don't know. I'm not sure quite what their plan is for that, but you'll want to go get into the new group. I'll link it here. Um, and then, um, and then what else did she put in there? Do 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 do. I think that's it. So, Sarah had a whatnot week before last. And so she's trying to sell some of her stuff. Sarah, you want to tell us how that went? What you think? Are you going to do it again? Oh, the mute.
I know I lost my Zoom because I was fooling around trying to do your link.
Ah,
Um, so yes, I had the whatnot. I will definitely do it again. I have a little list up here already of all the different things I'm gonna do. Melissa helped me a lot in getting all of my stamps together. I did clear photopolymer first. I started the bidding at $3, but you get some people bidding against each other, and one went for I think 27. Um, and so you just get online, and a lot of people join, people who we don't even know. I think I sent stamps to Kansas and, all these crazy places. But then they start to follow you and they know that you're going to do another one. And so you come on, you can talk a bit, and then you can put the auction on. They bid for your stamps, and it's really quick. Like literally, the longest you could do is 30 seconds. But it's pretty effective. And so then when you're done, at the end of the night, you print out through Whatnot, you print out and it gives you the packing list and a shipping label because they're collecting shipping for you. I just had to bag everything up. I put it in bubble wrap bags and slap the label on, and it's good to go. So it was very easy. It was a little nerve-wracking at first just because I didn't know like the whole process, but definitely Melissa is the expert. So if you need help, or you need a
uh,
moderator or anything like that, I'm happy to help out.
yeah, I signed up to be a moderator for Sarah, and then we kind of looked, and I don't know that being a moderator did a whole lot because I didn't
Yeah.
really have a ton of controls. I think I could see when someone had won an auction, and I think no one else could see that one tab. But I was happy to be there and just kind of support. And it's funny because Darlene was on, and Darlene was like, "You should go fast, like 10 seconds." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. 10 seconds isn't long
Mm,
enough because you want to give people time to bid against each
yeah,
other."
to bid up. I
Yeah.
sold 27 sets that I probably would have not ever sold otherwise. And then you can just keep moving them forward. In the next auction, you can do them again because I had some people join late and I was not very organized. So the key is really to put a sticky on and a post-it note with what number it is and that it got sold and put it aside. I was just putting everything on a little table I had on the side of me. And so I had not sold, and I couldn't go back and pick stamp sets that I knew were not sold because I had such a disaster. But no for next time.
Yeah, so I do sold goes to my left, unsold goes to my right. Well, depending on where I'm sitting at the table, but like sold goes on one side, unsold goes on the other side. So then I can pull those back if I need to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so one of them I had so much I was like throwing crap on the floor. I was like, okay, this is great, you know? But yeah, and I think one of the things that I was telling Sarah selling it this way versus selling it on the Stampin' Up group, the Facebook groups, like the Facebook thing can linger for a long time. And so people are, a week later, they're like, oh, I want this. And what about this? And make me a
And you're
deal on
calculating
this.
shipping, and then they get really
Yes.
like, can you bulk all this together? And actually, Whatnot will bulk stuff together. So I had someone who bought 5 sets, someone who bought 4 sets. So it groups it together, and then you can just put your shipping label on it and put them all together. So
Yeah,
that was really good.
it's
Um,
great. And they pay based on weight. So you have to weigh the items ahead of time. So like what I told Sarah, what I do is I do like an average weight for photopolymer, an average weight for cling, an average weight for, wood, average weight for punches, embossing folders. And I just kind of have like, so for each of those categories, then like, so I'll sell all photopolymer stamps at, it's 3 ounces per photopolymer. And then I'll
Yeah.
sell embossing folders, and then I'll sell punches, and then
Yeah.
um,
So I have this list I have is like red rubber sets
mm,
with dies. I have some mystery boxes of cards,
mm.
paper, ribbon. I'm excited to like figure out how to do that.
Yeah, if you, so I've not done paper or ribbon yet. And if you do that and it goes well, let me know.
Okay.
Because, and maybe I'll start like a whatnot like post in our group so that if
Hmm.
we, have questions or we, want to learn from one another, or if we're doing a whatnot and someone wants to
Hmm.
come check it out.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And people get an incentive if they use your sign up link to come
Mhm.
shop. So they get free money on whatnot.
They get
And
$25 and you get $5 for having them use it. And it's just a link that they're going to use to sign up and sign into whatnot. So I know a couple people got them and I got the $5 for each of them.
mm, maybe Melissa can come tell us about DSP and ribbon selling on there because used stamp sets, they're, I mean, or new, it
Yeah,
doesn't
they're used.
matter.
They're like what you would normally just sell on Stampin' Down and Up or wherever. Um, and the case was that most of mine were not used at all. It makes you really realize like how many duplicates I had. Some of them were celebration, but how many weren't used at all. It kind of makes you step back and like look at what you're doing and say, am I really going to use this set or do I just want it, you know?
Yeah,
So
for sure. And I mean, people sell crazy stuff on there. So people sell stickers, people sell baseball cards, people sell,
the
I don't,
little Legos that, like the
yeah,
squishies.
the Nitos, yes. Like, I mean, people sell the craziest crap on there. But what's interesting is there's categories. And so people who have like set up a buyer's account are watching certain things. So if they're interested in scrapbooking or stamps, like then and you set your sale to be for scrapbooking and stamps. So then like those people find you. And that's what I told Sarah because she was like, I'm kind of tapped out my market. Like my people aren't going to buy my retired stuff. And I said, great, then go sell it to other people in Kansas, right? Because
Mhm.
all sorts of randos come on this thing. And because Whatnot takes the money at the time of sale. So, like, when they click, I want that, Whatnot charges them immediately. And then if they click another stamp set, it charges them immediately because I went on as a buyer on Darlene's because I wanted to see what it was like on the other side, right? And so I went and bought like a couple things that she had, and I was like, oh, okay, that's serious, right? So there's not going to be any like discrepancies about money. There's not going to be,
People
right,
whining about like, I bought 5 sets, can I have, two free or whatever.
right,
And then
none
the
of that.
other thing that's really important too is if somebody is local and they buy stuff, they're still going to get charged the shipping unless you want to open it up to put your address in there and have like porch pickup or whatever. But I just did mailing, and so a couple people that I know that are my customers, I held one set for a while and I was like, oh, I got to get this in the mail because you can't, just go drop it off. You have to use the label. Otherwise, they think that you're withholding it or you're fraudulent or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is like I did not open porch pickup for mine either because there's all sorts of people and I'm just
Mhm.
not up for that. And so you will just pay the shipping and we will deal. And the other thing I like about Whatnot is that at the time of sale, like when they hit, I want that, it takes a picture of your screen.
Yes.
And so let's say that you screwed up all your post-it notes and your system sucks. Hello, happened to me both times, all 3 times. It's like it'll show you a photo and it'll be like, this is what
Yeah,
they purchased.
I use that option quite
Hmm.
a lot.
Yes. And
And
it's
then,
really great because
what
then you can
I found
verify.
is that with between starting the sale and having it end quickly and me keep talking and showing the next set, like you have to kind of keep track of like what you're actually selling at that moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you do have to. So what I was telling Sarah, like a good cadence for me at least, I know Darlene goes much faster, but for me, I like bring the set up and I like talk about the set. Of course, I'm doing it on an overhead camera. And I have my laptop here so I can see what's happening. But I have this set. I'm like, this is a hello set, and I loved it. Or I didn't use it at all, but my friend did, and it was great. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I'll open the auctioning, and then people will bid. And then, okay, it's sold. Okay, take a breath and move aside. I will say that, like, for someone who has ADD, like, there's a lot going on the screen. And so you really do have to, like, take your focus meds or drink a cup of coffee or something before you do this because you really got to be watching, like, okay, that auction that closed for that stamp set, great, now I can move on to
yeah.
the next
Like
stamp set.
Charlene yelled, it was too
Yes,
quick.
yes. And I also, and it's interesting because in the comments, and that is one reason why it's nice to have like an extra friend there,
Yeah.
because people will be like, "Oh, can you bring that one back up? I just, I missed it. Let's try again.
Yeah.
Or, so that is nice because people in the comments and then I also have people in the comments who are like, do you have any flowers? Do you have any Christmas? Do you, they're looking for specific things. And so that's nice because I can be like, well, I don't have any right now. Or what Sarah said is trust me, I have more and I will pull another box and we will keep doing this.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where I'm even thinking like I have the really like legendary sets, and I'm actually just thinking of like calling it like the legendary sets night or something because I have like the original Dreams and Dragons, the original Stella Stamper, like all these ones that you can't get anymore that at one point were selling at eBay for like $189. I'm kind of just tempted to see where that would go and try a set
And
like
I
that
would definitely,
for
for those, I would set the price higher, right? Like
yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
start at a higher bid rate.
yeah.
But, and that's what I told Sarah too. I said, yeah, some things are going to sell for $3 or $4, but some things are going to sell for
But
$27,
that's $3 and a stamp set I wouldn't have got rid of otherwise, you know? And I get to the point where I think I was doing 10 for a stamp set and 20 for with dies. Um, but it's keeping track of it all and going onto Facebook and
Yeah. This
people
is
being cranky.
way more efficient.
Yeah, it
So,
really is.
and I think Susan Rutherford is going to so I'm going to do a sale this week, and then I think Susan's going to do a sale next week. And she's also at the point where she wants to like clear out. Oh my God. Yes, Kathleen will shop you. So Kathleen's a great bow goer and a great buy your retired delight because I mean, and I think that that's something different too. Like I went through my stuff and realized like I have some sets that like don't fit this season of life.
Mhm.
And we buy sets that work for a certain season and then that season passes, right? And it's okay to like be like, all right, I don't need a mermaid stamp set anymore. My child is 17 and probably isn't into mermaids anymore. Shh, don't tell her I sold the mermaid set. So, those are the things like you have to, it's okay. And it's also okay for it to be a brand new set and you be like, yeah, I'm never going to use that. And it's better that it goes to someone who can use it, right? Than sit, in your situation. So I don't know. You guys know my feelings about that. Although this is how I ended up with 0 lemon sets and had to borrow a lemon set from Kathleen because apparently I got over zesty and got rid of all my lemon sets. And so when I needed one, I had to go to the Lemon Queen and and make that happen. So well, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for sharing that. I think that was really good. And I think that, if anybody needs help with whatnot, like you want to meet on Zoom, meeting on Zoom is the best way because you can share your screen and I can kind of talk you through how to do it. And I think that it's not super hard, but you do have to be you got to be a little organized and you got to, have your box ready and be ready to go. And then when you're printing, you can just print on regular printer paper when you're printing the labels and then just kind of fold your, printer paper in half and tape it on. Or you can, if you have some labels, I don't have anything fancy. Like I have some Avery labels that I shove through there that work. But Yeah. So, any questions? A dry run. Uh, yeah, that's true. A dry run would be nice. Um, I know that like when you get on and you're like about to go live, um, but I think you'd want to. You could always try like setting up your camera. I know Sarah was having issues with her camera on the other video. You could always like set it up and try to do Zoom. So like that would be something like if you wanted to use our Zoom link, because I mean this is my Zoom, but whatever. Like you guys don't tell anyone, but you can get in here whenever you want. And so, because I don't like, it's not, you have the password to it. So you could just like try your camera and try to connect to Zoom on your, whatever your top camera is. And that'll probably give you a pretty good idea of like, okay, great. I can see the surface and this looks like this is close enough, because you want to be relatively close to the stamp set so they can see it. The other thing I told Sarah was that something that helped some sets sell well was sample cards. So, especially sets that are hard to see, or even just like a piece of paper that was stamped. There was like this really, like one of those, remember the not impressions, what were those called? Where you got like the 3D effect, but it was one stamp. Mm, darn. Anyway, there was a couple that it was hard to see what they were, but once you stamped them, they were gorgeous, right? And so having some samples was helpful with some of the sets. I didn't have it for all of them, but how sometimes when you stamp stuff and you shove it back in the case, that was helpful. And I know Patsy, I sold like a set of Patsy's stuff, and that was helpful for hers because she definitely does that. Like she'll be working on a project, she'll have some extra stamp pieces, she shoves them in the stamp case, and then when I got them, I was like, hey, ta-da, here we go. We have a sample, thank God. Because it is, some of them, it's just hard to see like what it looks like. And I think that did help drive up the price on some of them. So distinctive. Thank you. I was like, yeah, there was a couple distinctive ones that I'm really glad I had that. But yeah, if you're ever wanting to like check your camera setup, coming onto a Zoom is a good way to do it. And I mean, no one has to be here. No one has to know. It'll auto record. I'll know because it'll auto record. But then don't worry. I go through and like delete a whole bunch of them. It's really funny on the months when the third Monday falls weird and some of you guys come on random Mondays, because then I have all these like tiny recordings. They're like 3 minutes of one of you kind of looking at the camera really weird and then like looking at your calendar and then looking at the camera and being like, well, crap, I have the wrong day. And so I went through and was like cleaning up my Zoom a couple weeks ago, and I was like, nope, nope, nope. Not a real meeting. Not a real meeting. Oh, there's someone who popped into a meeting and they shouldn't have. And so I was just chuckling because, or people who come really early before the meeting, like Terry sometimes pops on like 30 minutes early because she forgets that I don't open mine 30 minutes early. And so she'll pop on at like 6:30 and she'll sit here for like 5 minutes and then she like goes away. And then sometimes she comes back, sometimes she doesn't. And so it's really funny. I've been like cleaning, but I like the auto recording because if I do forget to record, right, like it's nice to have that. So please feel free to use the Zoom if you need to check your setup. And Sarah, that might help you with your video camera setup too, just because I know that you were, well, and Susan's been sideways before too. So Susan and I meet, and there are many times and she's like, I have no idea why we're sideways right now. So
What is the best way if you want to record a video and you want to either put it on Facebook or put it on YouTube? What is the best way to do that? Because I recorded the whole video and then I tried to download it onto, like, I sent it in the mail and then I had to upload it to Facebook or wherever, and it was like a nightmare.
So I do it on my phone if I'm going to
Mm.
record. Now I try to be tight. So like, maybe 20, 25 minutes. And I go straight from my phone to YouTube or straight from my phone to Facebook. But usually it's from my phone to YouTube. It does take a while to upload. Like I have to leave the phone open for a while because our phones are taking such high resolution video now that, like, I mean, those are some mega large files. But I go from straight from my phone to there. And I used to record lives in Facebook, and then I'd like download them, and then I'd like re-upload them to YouTube, and that was horribly painful. So now I either go straight live on YouTube, or I record it and then just upload it to YouTube. So for me, that's the best. And then if you're wanting to make the little reels, I still think that hyperlapse is the best way to make those little fast reels where you like, I'm putting a card together. And so you put the card together at whatever pace you're comfortable with on hyperlapse, and then there's a little toggle bar at the bottom, and you can slow yourself down, which is kind of crazy, or you can speed yourself up, and you get to choose like 2x, 6x, 8x. Do you want your hands doing this, or do you want them doing this? Some of them, you can look at it and go, whoa, that's too fast. But that's how I make my little reel videos of making cards, and I will say, hands down, those are the most popular videos I make. Like, people absolutely love them. They comment on them. They will make the card, and then they will post pictures of the one that they made. I mean, they're very, very, they love those. People's attention spans are so stupid short right now that, like, those are really all they can manage. And yeah, okay, so it took me 4 minutes to make it, but when I 4x'd it, it was only a minute, and most card makers will stick around for a minute if it's a gold card. So, and with those, I always show them the like completed card first. I'm like, this is what we're working on, and then we'll make it, and then, okay, we did it. So, and that helps them keep their attention span going. So I still like Hyperlapse. It's a free app. And it doesn't require anything fancy. So, which is nice. So, and I'm still using my like $29 mount from Amazon. Like, this guy's still working. It's still fine. So, like, I don't have anything super fancy. But I mean, it's a little, I don't know, you guys can see it here in the corner, like, it has a little clippy for my phone. I can go, landscape or horizontal. When you tape in hyperlapse, you have to tape vertical. So when you're taping, you have to tape like this, because this is how people hold their phones. So just FYI. If you don't do that, then you will be sideways. We don't need to be sideways. So tape like this when you're doing your hyperlapse. Everything else you can go this way, like for YouTube and stuff like that. But hyperlapse, you want to go this way. So, but, well, good. That was good. Okay, I want to see if you have any fun projects. Anything cool that you've been making lately. You guys, I mean, for those of you that came to retreat, you guys made a lot of crazy stuff. Miss Pat, have you made anything lately? Have you been crafting, keeping cool inside?
I've done a lot of cards, and they're going out as fast as I can make them.
Yay, that's
Uh,
exciting.
but I'm totally wiped out. So I really appreciate the information and the chance to sit and soak it in. I've had son, two grandchildren, and five great grandchildren here since Saturday, and they all left this afternoon. So I'm wiped out.
Yeah, that would wipe me out as well. That sounds like a lot.
But thank you.
Absolutely. That's funny. Kathleen also will send out cards faster than she can share them. And she tries to remember to take a photo before she sends them out. I know it's so hard to remember to do it. And today I taught at the senior center, and I was really proud of myself because I stopped for a minute and I took a photo of the cards I made. I was like, yes, okay, good job, but like, it's so hard to remember to do that. And it's hard to
Yeah.
remember when we're crafting with friends to do that too. So,
Well, I can share. I participated in your paper share swap thingy, and I could not bring myself to use the anchor trinkets. So I ended up making little earrings out
you
of
did
them.
make the earrings. Oh my God, that's so awesome. I wanted to see them as earrings. They're
So
so
those are
cute.
my new earrings, compliments of Stampin' Up.
I knew they would make the perfect earrings. Oh my gosh, they're
Just put little earring backs on them. So
I was
yeah.
going to say,
had to
how did you
share.
make those?
Oh, you just put the little earring back right on it.
There's a
There's a little
hole.
hole at the
There's a
very
little
top.
hole. Yeah.
Okay.
They are
Yeah.
perfect.
Cute.
They are literally perfect for
Cute.
it.
That's easy.
Oh my gosh.
And so, I wasn't gonna make a card that with just the two of them. And so I was like, now I have a pair of earrings. Thank you, C2C Stamping,
You
for providing me this
you
in
are
my paper share.
You're so welcome. I am so glad. I really wanted to see them as earrings. I don't have pierced ears anymore. And I
Oh, I
knew
didn't know
that,
that. Okay.
yeah, so I had my ears pierced a long time ago and it didn't work well when I was a kid. And then I had them redone when Marianne had hers done and it still didn't work well. I just have a
Wow.
really bad metal allergy. And so
Mm.
my ears just, if it has even the hint of nickel, even if it looked at nickel, my ears are like, nope, can't do it. And so
Oh,
I love those, but I couldn't figure out how to make them with my clip because I have clip attachments, but they all looked really crappy. And so I was like,
oh,
somebody
Mm.
will make really cute earrings with these and it's going to be awesome. So those are so cute. Thank you so much. Oh, that makes me so
thanks.
happy. That was really, I just wanted to see those. Like, I've been really praying someone would make earrings out of those because they're perfect with that hole at the top. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
truly. So cute. So if anybody else has them, make yourself some earrings. They're adorable. Anybody else working on anything cool or special or fun? We were all we were productive at retreat, but also, oh, I wanted to show you guys this kit. So the So last year for Creativity Now, it was that handmade and heartfelt kit, and it had a box, and you could make a bunch of cards. And I don't know, like, I was having a cheap moment. It's $32 kit. I don't know if like I didn't want to spend $32 on a kit. I don't know. Like I didn't buy it. And so when it went on sale for $16, I was like, okay, $16. I can do that. And so I made all the cards and I used it this weekend to store my cards from retreat. The box is like super sturdy. I mean, it is like, here, I'll spotlight myself. Let me see. Can I do that? Okay, sure. The box is super sturdy. I mean, like really nice. And it has dividers. I'll take out my cards from the weekend. So it has dividers that you put in that actually are really easy to put in. Like I was like, oh, I can do that. I was worried it was going to be IKEA level construction, but it's not. And then the cards are actually really, really pretty. And I was surprised at like how pretty they were. And I just don't know why I like dismissed it, but you make two each, and the envelopes are pretty too. But you make two each of the cards. There's 5 designs. So you make 10 cards in the box for $16, which I think is a bang up deal. And you get the stamp set and the spot, of course, and whatever. It is nice. So I think when I saw the samples, I thought it was unreadable. Like I thought it was too sketchy. But now I'm like, oh no, this is actually perfectly fine. Oh, and then the little bird one. For those of you who like little birdies, the bird one's cute. It went together really well, and I really like the box. And I think it's still on the last chance list. It was as of like last week, I think. So if you didn't get it, it might be nice. You could run a class with it. You could have a friend come over. It could be a really nice way to get someone started on card making because now they have a box that they can put their cards in. And I was just impressed. I thought it was really nice. So that was one of the things that I worked on this weekend, in addition to taking some classes from other folks and finishing a paper pumpkin and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, it was a good one. All right. Anybody else want to show off anything? Yeah, Miss Glenda. What do you want to show off? Let me spotlight you.
I took the Pretty Poinsettia class.
Oh, the class that Stampin' Up did. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Pretty.
Here's a card. And the thing that I did that they didn't, there's some, whoops, sorry. There's some stamped leaves on here, and they did theirs stamped off. And in the example, it made them look, I don't know, it kind of made them look blue to me. So I didn't like that. So I didn't do that. So that was a card they made, and they made these. Oh, wait a minute, one stuck together. They made a. They made what Terry calls card candy.
Oh yeah.
They made those for scrapbook pages.
Like the little clusters. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 3x4 thingies. Uh, easy. These were easy. The box, they had a Christmas box that you made. Those were a bit more difficult. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But then I liked the little card candy elements so well. I made some cards. I had cut a bunch of the poinsettias. This is the one I colored weird, but I still like my card. I did that. So I made Christmas cards out of all the extras that I made. Use up some of that paper that I'd already cut, and some unexpected coloring. Like I would have never put the pink and the gold and the peaceful pine together, the blush. And then this is one from the meeting packet. This is the design from the meeting packet. But um, for my retreat that I'm doing, I decided I wanted it in more traditional, and I wanted I wanted to use some of the DSP they were getting in their packet. So instead of the pink and the, gosh, I've lost all my colors. I made a traditional card. So those were some of the things that I made this weekend that nobody else was making.
Yeah, I the playing with the pretty poinsettia was fun. We played a little bit with it too, and because we're going to use it for merrymakers, and the unexpected color combos like the pinks and the, there's, I mean, poinsettias come in all sorts of crazy colors, and the fonts on that set. Speaking of fonts, Kathleen, the fonts on that set are very, very good. I very, very much like them on the pretty
Yes.
poinsettias. That is one. And I liked how you like did a candy cane kind of stripe on that joy. I thought it turned out really cute. So
Yeah, that one they actually did that for the scrapbooking piece.
yeah,
And
so that was something that Glenda had asked me because I've taken a bunch of the craft classes that Stampin' Up! Is offering, and they're really trying to appeal to a wide variety of crafters. And when they do that, sometimes, like, I feel like the card makers would be totally fine, like, not doing any of this other stuff, And so I took a class and they did a big card, they did 3 tags, and they did a mini album. And I was like, okay. So the 3 tags I actually just turned into card fronts because I'm like, this is like easy, and they were gorgeous. Of course, the big card was a big card, and they were like, we're going to make our own envelope. And I'm like, oh, bro, I hate making envelopes, but sure, I guess, well, I have to because now I've made a card that's 5x7 or 5x8 and a
yeah,
half or something redonkulous that I don't have an envelope for. I was like, what am I going to do? Send this in a manila envelope? Like, I was like, it was ginormous. And then the album is cute. I think it was very little, and so I think it's it's like not mailable. I don't know. That was an interesting class. But I do know that, they realize that they've brought in a lot of scrapbookers. And so they're really trying to make sure that they're answering the needs of everybody. Sometimes that means they answer the needs of nobody, and that always worries me. And that was the question I had asked when we were there in June, was like, is it mainly demonstrators taking these craft classes or customers? And they're like, oh, it's mainly demonstrators. And I said, okay. And I was like, well, that answers my question, and I was like, I don't know that my card making customer would want to do that, like I think they would want just a card making class. Now, I did buy the Scenic Coast one, and I haven't done the class yet, partly because I had forgotten I had lent my stamp set to Jill. And so I was going through everything, and I was like, I know I bought that stamp set. And so I was like, man, I need to come up with a better like lending library system, where I like mark when I've given somebody a stamp set, because I was like, and it only took me about 5 minutes to be like, Jill's the person who has it.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that one, and I might post some photos and like a little video about craft classes generally, and kind of what I think and why I think people would want to take them. I think if you already have the bundle, I think it's a commissionable $35. And I think that the level of presentation is the same as it is for virtual album retreat and virtual card retreat. So if you're looking to like amp your game, I think it's there. I don't think it's for like beginning intro crafters. Like, I do not think this is a card making 101 class, right? This is like, you've bought this beautiful suite, and we now want to show you all the amazing things that you can do with it, right? Which is great, Scenic Coast, can't wait, super excited. I have the paper, I've got, like, can't wait to make really, really pretty things with it, So in case you're wondering, if you haven't taken a craft class, I know some of us have taken some and some of us haven't, or if you've purchased them but actually haven't done them, which is also a problem.
Yes.
Get in there and do that, and look and see. They're going to offer another one. So the magic foil, the metallic magic class. I'm going to call it something terrible soon, by the way. So I just keep, Magic Mike will come out of my mouth at some point. I'm 9,000% sure. The metallic magic class is this week, and then they're going to do another class. I saw it's on the books for September. I don't know what suite it's for, but I have a feeling it's probably for one of the fall catalog ones. It makes sense that it would be. So I'm hoping they'll announce that soon. But the other thing, Susan wanted me to let you guys know that she has openings in her North Austin Creativity Now event that she's doing. So she did this last year, and I think Kathleen went. And she's doing it again. So she's got 2 or 3 openings there. So if you wanted to do Creativity Now, but you didn't, and you missed the boat, it's a great opportunity. If you missed the boat, she's going to prep all the projects and have everything there for you. So if you didn't get a chance to do that, it's a nice way to do that. That is on Saturday, August the 8th. And it's in the afternoon in North Austin. Yes, and did they finally share the back to sales holiday? Yesterday, as I was driving, I was like, they haven't posted that yet. Okay, good. I'm glad they posted it. Did they post it today, like in a non-Tuesday update? Like, did it go in an update today? Is today Tuesday? No, today's not Tuesday. Today's just Monday. Girl, I don't know what day it is. I need another nap. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, I don't know. That
It was
is,
just shared in the updates on the 16th. I just saw it today.
oh,
Um, yeah. So on your demonstrator dashboard landing
I see
page
it.
on the far left, it was kind of tucked in there and not a lot of pomp and circumstance on it. Because I think it's just US only, and
Well,
not all
yeah,
50 states participate in it too. So
right.
it's
Well, and
very,
what stinks about that is it's not in a Tuesday update. It came right after
yeah,
the new catalog digital, so no one was paying attention.
yeah.
So that's not good. 4 products may sell out before they move to the August last chance list. Oh no. 1 or 2 or more of these products may have already sold out. Gilded wings. Floral flight accents. Oh no, the black ones. Everyday borders accents and covered in flowers accents. Oh, these are all these accent ones. Someone mentioned this on the leaders group. Son of a biscuit. Yep. Look at that. The black butterflies and the gold butterflies are gone. Shazam. Well, there you go. I will say that the paper mixer craft class, if you're looking at craft classes, I did that one. Those were wild. Like the craziest fun fold situation. I don't know. Like they were crazy, and you were like drawing on the DSP with your black pen, and like it was like OTT, more OTT than OTT. And I know Sarah's over the top, but this was like extra, extra, extra. So like, I don't know, like that one was definitely crazy. Oh, I'm sad that the butterflies are all gone. Yeah, so this is going to be weird, right? Because we're going to have an August last chance list of stuff that we literally just got in like April. And so it is going to be weird to see. I will also say that I was looking through and a lot of my punches were gone as well. So like it will be like maybe do an inventory of your stuff right now, and then maybe beginning of September plan on doing another kind of inventory sweep to see what's retired and what's not. But definitely yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, I have circles left and I have butterflies and the triple banner punch. I was like, that's it. That's all I got left. Okie dokie. So, yeah. This will be interesting. This will be our first year kind of going through this, like not having an annual catalog and all that stuff kind of disappearing. And I think it's probably going to be a hard lesson learned by everybody that like might have overbought from that catalog. And now we're going to have to, we're used to the minis. Like we're used to kind of going, okay, I have to have a hyper purpose for each of these things, you know? But I just don't know that we treated that catalog like a mini catalog. So, it might be tough for everybody. Okay, I have the Wheel of Names, and I'm going to do a drawing. And my drawing today, I have it up on my thingy-me-dingy, and I will share my screen. I have 3 card packet classes that I want to give away, and I want to because I need to get them out of my house. So you will be the recipient of a card class, and I will make sure that you have the PDF directions for them if you win. And I think I have everybody on the screen, and so we will click to spin, and whoever gets picked first will go first. And so, oh my gosh, it's Kathleen. Yay! Okay, so Kathleen, I have 3 different classes. So one is, and I'm going to grab the sample card from this one. So one is the Friendly Seagulls class that I did for bingo. So there's the Friendly Seagulls. And the cards look like this. There's this one that says, hey. And this one that says, hey friend, and it's got the little seagull, and everything's been like pre-cut and done. So like you're literally just like stamping these guys and assembling them. And then there's this one with the little guy with the french fries that says mine. So that's one option. The other option is I have still an extra meeting planner from the Forever Florals. I don't know that you did this one, but they're very elegant, and you could do any sentiment. All the die work is done, and so that's ready for you. If you have Forever Florals, great, but honestly, like any large kind of like happy anniversary, they look very like happy anniversary cards, and I know you like making anniversary cards. And then the other one is this packet that is the card bases and envelopes from Textured Stripes Mix and Match, and the Valentine's paper. So this was left over from a stamp camp that Susan and I did. So this one, or Friendly Seagulls, or Forever Florals. What would you like?
Can you show the Valentine's Day one more time?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't
I don't
have
have
the
the
paper.
friendly seagull set, so
Oh, this is included in the package. You get the stamp set as well. FYI.
oh.
Yes, it's full service. But this is the papers from this one. So super cute. But this one includes the stamp set in here and the packet with all the papers and stuff. And everything's die cut and ready for you.
Okay, I'll do that one then.
This one? Yeah, I think it's a good one. Many people on here did it because they did my bingo. And so Glenda very much liked the designs. So, okay, let's pick another person. Let's see who else will make a fun set of cards. Jill. All right, Jill. Jill, do you want Forever Florals or do you want Valentine's?
Forever florals, please.
Forever Florals. All right, last person
Thank
gets
you.
Valentine's. Let's see who's getting Valentine's. Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Patsy Palmer. Yay! All right. Good job, everybody. All right, so I'm going to put sticky notes on these before I forget who is what, because that's what always happens is I always forget. That, stop